Hi, I'm Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and welcome to my channel. For all of my subscribers, thank you so much for being here. I'm really glad that you are. And if you're just stopping by or new to the channel, please consider subscribing and make sure that you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. This video is for the Earth signs from mid-April through mid-May. What I do is I pick a few tarot cards and do a general reading on the earth signs, and then for each of the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, I pick astrology cards, I throw Astro Dice, and I pick an oracle card and do individual readings for the signs, so everybody gets a reading. So if you are Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you're in the right place. Sit back and relax, and let's do your mid-April reading. Okay, so for our earth signs, the first card up is the star. So this tells me that in this time period, mid-April to mid-May, there's going to be a focus on you, earth signs. You're going to literally be the star. You are going to find that your ideas are well shown and well formulated and well appreciated. You're going to find that the things that you really want to have happen are happening. Things that you're manifesting are manifesting. And generally, you are going to be a focus of attention during this time period. Not surprising then, during this period, you will also reap a lot of benefits. You will have a harvest to bring in, either monetarily or with ideas or projects or jobs that you have put out before that are now ready for completion, or for you to get credit for them in some way, but you are able to harvest what you've sown in this time frame. Another card that comes up is the sun. Wow, this is a great time for you, earth signs. The sun puts its light on everything, and with that beautiful warmth and light brings about life. So you've also got luck and victory, and it's a yes card. So if you were wondering if something was going to be happening, the answer is yes, it's going to be happening in this time period. It's illuminating. If anything was in the shadows, it's being brought into the light. So lots of fabulous, wonderful things happening for you, earth signs, during this time period. And then we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups shows an agreement, a union, a cooperation, a contract possibly between you and another person. It could be romantic, very likely it could be romantic, but it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could also be a business partnership, but at least a partnership where you and the other person have tremendous admiration, respect, and love for one another. So it's not just a business contract where or partnership rather, where you're going in on it with somebody that you can just barely tolerate. This would be somebody that you really respect, really have a lot of love for that person. So that's happening. Wow, this is kind of amazing. And then the final card is Judgment. Now it looks like with all these great cards coming up that Judgment would be very favorable on you, that you would be looking at things or you would have been viewed by people around you as making all the right moves, making all the right choices. This could mean also of somebody with you or around you, or a partner who is being judged maybe a little more harshly. But I think that the judgment is coming back to you, which means that if there's some sort of a choice to be made, people will choose you. If there's an election, you will win. If there is a promotion, you will get it. If there is a new job in the offing and you're competing for it, you will get it. So you are the person who's coming out on top in this judgment. And in this reading. So really fabulous time for you, earth signs. Just lots of phenomenal things happening for you. I can't believe it. It's wonderful. Wow. So let's do, let's not delay. Let's get into the individual readings. And the first one is going to be Taurus. So the first card that you get is a sister sign, another earth sign. Capricorn, I use, right? Yeah, I use. Capricorn, I use. Great. Then I have Sagittarius, I see. And then we have Pluto, transformation. And that isn't a glare on the card. That's the color of the card. All right. So then I have the Astro Dice. All right, so let's talk about Capricorn, Taurus. So wherever Capricorn falls in your chart is where you're going to use things. It's where you're going to find the finest in the world for whatever area of life that is. So if it's the fourth house for a home, you're going to find and buy the finest home that you can afford. If it's the 10th house for career, you're going to shoot for the stars as far as having the best career you could possibly hope for. If it's the second house for money, then you would try to get the highest paycheck and the best, reward and return that you possibly can. So Capricorn I use is materialistic. They are about money. They are an earth sign, and they are also about comfort and taking care of their family, monetarily especially. So wherever Capricorn is, you are hedging your bets. This is where, Taurus, in this time frame, you are going to be making sure that there are no gaps so that your family is well provided for. Should anything happen to you, or even if nothing happens to you, you want to be provided for too. So the Capricorn card is coming forward to say that all of this wonderful stuff that's happening, you're still going to worry about the future, and you're still going to take care of you and your family's future. Wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, the dice came out with the number 10, and I take that in Astro Dice to mean the 10th house. So the 10th house is career, and the 10th house actually is ruled by Capricorn traditionally, because that's where people go to make a legacy, to make a stand, to make their it can be their destiny, but to make their career, make themselves known, and leave a mark on society. And that's sort of a Capricornian thing to do. So whatever you're doing with your career right now, it's got to be going fabulous. It's just got to be going the best it's ever gone, because you are making a mark, and you're the star, and you've got the sun coming here, and you're reaping a harvest and a great partnership, and the judgment is all about how well you're doing. So all of that stuff is very, very, very good. Now Sagittarius, I see Sagittarius is traditionally the ruler of the 9th house, which is for travel, communications, the internet, other lands, foreign lands, other cultures, other philosophies, other types of religions. So what I'm going to say is that your career stuff is probably having something to do with those areas. So you may have something to do with languages or philosophies or foreign countries or the internet or social media. Any of those things would sort of go in line with what's happening to your career. But then it's right next to the card for transformation. So with all of this emphasis, what I'm going to say is that your career is transforming. Yes, you're going through beautiful things right now, and you're getting amazing accolades and amazing response on things that you've already done. But I would say to you, that is a great time then to use that as a launching pad to do even more of what you want to do in a career or a life work, or however you are expressing yourself right now, Taurus. So make sure that you don't cut yourself off at the knees. Make sure that you ask for more. Make sure that you ask for more from yourself. Make sure that you use this period of Pluto power for transformation to really, really go where you want to go as far as your life and your career go. Really, really fabulous cards for you. And then we have Gemini and Mercury. So this is telling me that there may be something in your career that has to do with hands and communication. So if it is, or with going back to this Sag card, if it is something to do with social media or electronics or traveling the world or whatever, it will come down to words and hands. People typing, people making things, people communicating, people having wonderful ideas and putting them on social media or on blogs or on the internet. And part of that is you. That could be publishing, that could be advertising, that could be marketing, that could be any number of industries that you are just exploding into with your transformation. So beautiful things happening for you. Beautiful, beautiful things happening for you, Taurus. Just amazing. And the oracle card that came up for you, and I know you'll love this because you're an earth sign, is money. And it's one of the most beautiful money cards I've ever seen. This is saying value yourself and the money will come to you. Look at that woman right in the center. She is of the earth. She is a part of literally a mountain. It's really a gorgeous card. I could stare at it for quite a while. This deck, the Oracle cards, is the Mystical Wisdom deck by Gay Guthrie, and the art is by Josephine Wall. And I'm absolutely in love with her art. It's so beautiful, delicate lines. It's really gorgeous. Anyway, great reading, Taurus. Oh my gosh, all the other signs are going to be so jealous. This is just amazing. You are just going to have one heck of a month. Please leave me a comment down below. Please, please, please. I want to know if these things are hitting the mark or not. And have a great month. This is just amazing. Good. Best of luck to you, Taurus. God bless. All right, Virgo, here we go. Okay, so the first astrology card that we have is the body, the first house. Very interesting. We're talking about your body, Virgo. Second house, the second card is the North Node, life's purpose. A lot of people are getting node messages too. And then the third card is Sagittarius IC. I can't tell you how many times this card is coming up today. And we actually have no planets whatsoever in Sagittarius except for an asteroid called Juno. So I don't know what's up with the Sagittarius energy, but everybody is experiencing it, including all the other earth signs. So we'll talk about that. Now let's do the dice. Okay, 4, Taurus, and the moon. So we'll talk about all of those. Let's shuffle the oracle cards. Let's get them going. All righty. Now, we had all this beautiful stuff happening in the energy. Let me move these down a little bit so you can still see them. So we have, the star, 7 of Pentacles. We have the sun. We have the 2 of Cups, and we have Judgment. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards. Lots of success, lots of kudos, lots of accolades, lots of joy. And the yes, the sun being upright, yes. Whatever it is that your question is, the answer is yes this month, or from mid-April to mid-May. Now, let's look at the first house, the body. So if your rising sign is Virgo, then you are focusing on your body very much this month. Wherever Virgo is for you, though, I have a feeling that you're focusing on your body. So if you're a Virgo moon, you're also going to be focusing on your body. If you're a Virgo sun, you may be focusing on something else, because the Virgo sun does not necessarily mean that your first house is Virgo. And that's what this card is about, the first house, Virgo. So what does this mean? This means that you're going to be noticed, and that's what the star was saying in the tarot cards, that you're going to be noticed, that when you come into a room, people are really going to know who you are. You may have a lot more visibility, say, on social media for some reason. You're going to be noticed, and you are going to probably enjoy the notoriety somewhat, which is odd for Virgo. Virgos don't usually... They usually prefer to be somewhat in the background, but in this period, you will enjoy it. So that's the first card, is the first house, the body. Now, let's talk about the nodes. North Node, life's purpose. The North Node right now is in Gemini, and that squares Virgo. So there is going to be an uncomfortable push to you about your own destiny and mission in life. So if you have been sitting back and just doing what's easy in your life and still getting rewards for it, getting all these great rewards that we see in the tarot cards doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing your life's work. It means that you're doing things you can be successful at, and you are being successful at it, but your life's work may be something different, or it may be the same. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, could be the same thing. Could be that you need to stretch a little more and go outside of this comfort zone and get to your real destiny. That will help you grow. If you're a person that wants to grow spiritually, if you want to be more enlightened, if you want to raise your vibration, then you do need to figure out where it is that your destiny lies. And I can't tell you where that is. You have to explore it for yourself, but that's what this reading is telling you. Now, we have Sagittarius, I see. Sagittarius is saying, look beyond your borders. Look to foreign countries. Look to other companies. Look to other industries. Look to space. Look to internet. Look to things that are outside of your normal neighborhood for where you're going to expand. This Sagittarius card is all over the place this month. So I think a lot of people are not necessarily moving, like moving houses, but they may be changing jobs, changing industry, moving things around that way, because it's so much easier to make the change because so many people are working remotely, right? So it could be that it's so much easier to make the change that a lot of people are going to make the change because they don't want to put up with something crappy if they can have something really nice. Okay, now let's look at this for the moon and Taurus. So let's say that you have the moon and Taurus in your fourth house. That would be great. That would be really, really good. The fourth house placement of the moon is a natural placement. It would be very strong there, and the moon is exalted in Taurus. But let's say that that's not your situation. Taurus is a sister sign to Virgo. And Taurus is about stability. It's about comfort. It's about being safe, having clothing, having food, having shelter. So some of these things are very important to you. But I think with what's going along right here, right now, in this original reading, I don't think you have to worry about that so much. However, your intuition, your moon, maybe picking up on an idea that, yeah, it's that way now, today, but what about tomorrow? What about next year? So you may be looking ahead towards building more of a nest egg, building more of a plan for the future, for when things maybe not go south, but when things are not quite as great as they are now. Because right now, things are great for you. And you're a Virgo, so you are kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. So you're not going to trust that it's always going to stay like this. And that's, I think, where we're going with this. And then we have the fourth house. And this is definitely talking about the fourth house in your chart. And whatever your chart is, fourth house represents the home. It represents the home that you were born in and the home that you're going to transition on when you come to the end of your life. So even more so, I would say that thinking about when things are not going as great as they are now, what will my life look like? What kind of a nest egg will I have to live on? How will I live? Where will I live? What will my lifestyle be like? So those are the things that are going through your mind, even though you're having this great month right now, really, really great, really fabulous, these earth signs. You still have other things to worry about. Now let's look at your oracle sign. And your oracle card, rather, and it is Peacock, raise your standards. Well, Virgo, nobody needs to tell you that twice. You already feel like you've had to probably lower your standards somewhat for people in your immediate family and in your coworkers and stuff, just because most people don't have the kind of standards that you do. So once the oracle is saying, okay, raise it back up again, you're going to do that. Why? Because you're bringing people with you. You're helping other people raise their vibration. You're helping people around you feel good about themselves. You're teaching people how to take care of themselves. Make sure you also take care of yourself. Make sure you also love yourself. And then everything will be really good. But raising your standards right now, yeah, go for it. It's good. You're the star. You're the star. You got the sun going on. You got a good partnership. And you got money coming in. You got a harvest coming in. So it's time, baby. Raise those standards. Don't look back. What did Daenerys say? If I look back, I am lost. Virgo, take that to heart. Okay. Now we are looking at Capricorn. Let's look at the astrology cards. Oh. you get the card for Virgo. I analyze. And then you get, ooh, Mercury retrograde, reinvention. Interesting. And then we get Leo, I will. Goes with your Sun card. And then we get third house messages. Okay, let's dig into this. All right, Capricorn. So the first card up, oh wait, let me shake the dice. And for the dice, we get an 8, we get a Cancer, and we get a Mars. Okay. So Virgo, I analyze. So here's the sign of Virgo in a Capricorn reading. What does this mean? Well, Virgo is a sister sign to Capricorn. So it means that you take some of your earth energies and you pour it into analyzing what's going on with all of this stuff. You're having an amazing month. Amazing. Maybe it's longer than a month, but it's an amazing period. And so what Capricorn wants is to repeat that. So you're going to analyze what caused me to have this amazing month, and can I repeat it? And that's what you want to be able to do. And then also a Mercury-based card, Mercury retrograde, reinvention. Once you analyze it and figure out what it is that caused that success, you want to replicate it. Capricorn, I got you there. I am a Capricorn rising myself. If I can replicate something that is successful and works, I'm going to do it over and over and over again. But I'm an astrologer. I realize that there are cycles to things. You can't have a market that just continually goes up. At some point, it has to go down, right? So you have to look at the cycles of things. In the spring, you have certain things that happen and that impacts your business. In the summer, you have certain things that impact your business. So in your analysis, don't forget to include the cycles and of the industry that you're in, the cycles of nature, the cycles of society, the cycles of the family. Cycles are what it's all about. That's the way you can predict with accuracy when things will be successful. Because everything's on a cycle. It isn't just, I do these 4 things and I have things go through the roof. My money goes through the roof. No, that's not going to happen over and over and over again, because what goes up must come down. It is a cycle. All right. Now we're going to look at Leo, I will. Again, this is a Sun card and you want to succeed, but also you like this acknowledgement that you have been successful. You really, really like it, and you would like that to happen over and over again too. However, this may mean that by summertime, which is Leo time, that you're kind of tired of being in the spotlight, Capricorn. You'd rather go back to your little workroom and your computer and just kind of dig around there, because being in the spotlight, frankly, is a lot more work than you're used to. And although you like it temporarily, just to have the accolade, just to have the acknowledgement, just to have the credit so that people know who you are and know what you can do and that you do it well, that's enough. That'll last you for a few years, probably 10. You don't need to keep being in the limelight, in the spotlight, like you are this period all the time. But so it may fade in the summertime. Leo begins at the end of July. So you have a couple of months of parades and accolades and feeling like you're victorious. And then it'll kind of die out and you'll go back to just, business analytics or whatever you're doing. Okay. Now, third house messages. This is important. If your work or product, whatever you're doing here, has anything to do with messages like communications, like telecom, like social media, like things on the internet, like vlogging, like blogging, like doing things in marketing, doing things in publishing, doing things in sales, if it has anything to do with that kind of thing, you want to know about it. And that's why you are analyzing with the Virgo energy, so that you can understand how the cycles of things work and that you can understand the trends. That's also another part of cycles, is understanding trends. And Capricorn, I know you're no dummy. I know that you probably know all this stuff, but in your reading, it's coming out that the messages that you want to get to are important, but you also need to take them in context of the cycles. So just keep that in mind for all the stuff that you're doing. So that's what the cards have to say. Now let's look at the dice. We have Mars here. Of course, you're going to be putting a lot of energy into all of your business things. And of course, you're going to be looking at, how to replicate this success. But more than that, Mars is saying that you're going to keep working. You're not going to just rest on your laurels. You're not going to just say, oh, I had this really great month. I don't have to work anymore in my life. That's just definitely not a Capricorn attribute. Then we have the number 8. The number 8 has to do with the 8th house. That's a house for big money or other people's money in our lives. It also rules sex, death, and taxes, as well as the occult, as well as things that are hidden. And the reason that it is other people's money or big money is because it follows the 7th house. The 7th house is the house where we usually marry. That's the spouse, that's the business partner, it's the life partner, it's the romantic partner. Once we marry, we usually do things like buy a house, set up life insurance, get a job where we have a retirement plan. Those are the types of big money that are ruled by the 8th house. So in your case, 8 is coming up in terms of the 8th house. In your case, it is, yes, we got this great harvest, right? You got this great harvest. What are you going to do with all this money or resource? You're going to invest it in something for the future, and that's where the 8th house comes in. So you and your partner are definitely going to look at the boon that you have garnered, and you're going to do something practical with it. You're probably going to invest it in some way so that it produces more money for you. And then we have Cancer. Cancer has to do with the home. So there may be home improvement on the way. There may be changes to where you do your work. If you've been working at home, you may be remodeling it so that it's a better space. But Cancer is important. So this is also the family. This is also your children, your spouse, the home you live in, the real estate that you live on. All of these things are important. So if you do have a big boon, not only will you be investing some of that money, but you also will be investing in your home. That could be the only investment that you have enough money for, or you could be doing both. But Capricorn, I know that you're planning for the future and you would love for this success to keep repeating itself. Trust me about the cycles, and I'm sure this will make sense to you. But know that also you're going to be probably spending some dough on your home to make it, more practical to work there. Or it could just be that you decide it's time for a change and you're just going to sell and get a new home. But in some way, the home is going to be affected, and that's why that Cancer dice is coming up. Okay, let's look at the Oracle card. Oh, another element got this too, or another sign rather. Okay, Dragon. Discover your courage. Discover your courage. So the dragon energy is really unique. I'm going to give you a homework assignment. Look up dragons as a totem animal, as an energy, as a guide. Dragons can be guides too. So dragon energy is fire energy. It's very, very creative energy. It's very protective energy as well. So I'm going to ask you to just look up dragons and see what you can find out about it. Very interesting, Capricorn, that you are coming up with dragon in your card, because I think you have all these beautiful things happening to you like the other earth signs in this period. And you also have some other very specific things, business cycle things that you want to be looking at. And I think the dragon will really help you with that. The dragon is going to allow you to take risks in what you're trying to accomplish. Whereas before, when you had this great harvest, you may not have been taking very much risk. It might have been almost a sure thing for you. It's just that you wanted to get credit for that particular project. Now with the dragon, for sure you're going to be recognized and give credit. But remember that probably by the time of Leo, all these accolades and stuff will be dying down. The knowledge that you are the person to credit with the success will not go away, but it will by then be a given. It'll just be like, oh yeah, they're always the one who does that. So you don't really need the accolades by the time Leo time comes around this year, by the end of July. You don't really need that anymore. You're fine to recede into the background, but to continue your successful ways. And so that's what's going on with that. Dragon helps you take a bit more risk. And I think you're going to be very happy with that. So this looks like a great kickoff to a wonderful cycle for you, Capricorn, and all the earth signs, really. Just a wonderful, wonderful kickoff with, now we're past the spring equinox. We're into Aries time, and we're just zooming actually into Taurus time. And we're zooming forward and really seeing productive things happening for our businesses and our families. Awesome, Capricorn. Okay, Earth signs, that was your reading for mid-April through mid-May. I hope you liked it. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought about the reading. And please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And Earth signs, I'm so glad that you joined me. I will see you next time.